Welcome back to the charts with me. You know what I'm saying? Gonna go and give y'all a little end of the week um, breakdown of some of the trades that I'm in and outlook on some of the things that I'm looking to get in next week. So let's start with AUDCHF. If you don't already, make sure you follow my trading page at Profitable Minds FX on Instagram and my personal Instagram, which is Sadie's B with three S's. Well, yeah, three S's underscore B. That's my personal page. Make sure y'all tap in with me on both. So, like I said, let's start off with ICHF. So, when I got into this trade, what I did, I looked at the weekly time frame, right? And the first thing that I saw is we had a nice break and retest of this previous weekly low, right? If I go back real quick and I go low, lower high, lower low, lower high, right? And what did this lower high happen? What a previous lower low happened. And if I zoom in a little more, you will also see that we had either, some might say this is a bearish engulfing, some might call these tweezers. I see both. It's really all up to your perception, right? So then I go down to the daily time frame, and that's pretty much all I did, y'all. So when I came down to the daily time frame, I saw that we had this head and shoulders pattern, right? And then I also saw that we closed with this bearish engulfing candle after getting my entry down on the 4 hour, which gave me confirmation to continue to hold this trade. So I went down to the 4 hour for entry, and my entry was pretty early. I actually got in on this candle right here. Well, I got in on this candle right here. That engulfing candle, but as you can see, it kind of played around, tapped all the way back up, but never stopped me out. And then it, it started to come back to the downside, right? So that's when I, checked on my daily. I was looking for some type of strong bearish closure, and I ended up getting it on Wednesday. So that was my confirmation to continue to hold on to this trade. So I am still looking for AUDCHF to either get to 63,250 or down to 62,750. All right. So let's move on real quick and simple. All right. So this has been one of my favorite trades. I was not doing YouTube at the time, but I believe I put this setup on my trading page. This was a monthly confirmation trade for me. So what I seen on Platinum is we were making this overall strong bearish trend, right? We had this uptrend over here where we actually were going higher high, higher low, higher high, came and made still considered a higher low because it did not break this one. And then we actually broke and made a lower high, which was the beginning of this overall downtrend. And then we came and actually broke this monthly low, came back up and respected this downward trend line to continue down, right? So when I saw all of this, I saw this trade back in January. So right at the beginning of February, actually, when this monthly candle closed, it was a strong bearish engulfing candle on the monthly time frame. And if you look, we had that same exact move over here. We had a bullish candle and then a bearish engulfing, bullish candle and then a bearish engulfing, right? So that was enough confirmation to know that this market was going to be going to the downside. So if I'm looking for this market to continue on with its bearish movement, I am looking for it to take out 825, period. Right. And I could even see it potentially coming down to about 720, right? So I went down to the weekly time frame, and like I told y'all in the last video, every time frame is doing the exact same thing. Your perception changes because it expands or either it condenses, whether you're going up or down frames, right? So I didn't really see too much on the weekly that was giving me any type of entry. So when I went down to the daily, I was able to see much clearer, right? And this trade is the previous trade that I was in. So basically all I did was just continued on with the trend. I knew that on the monthly time frame that this was an overall downward trend. So when I saw the break and retest of this previous low and it came back up and made the lower high, I got in the trade, right? So we go down one more time, and I actually got in off of this bearish engulfing candle here. And as you can see, it came down, made a lower low, lower high, and now it's continuing its move down. Pretty much already hit the spot that I was looking to take profit. My stop loss has already been moved to break even, so I cannot lose any money on this trade. And I actually am contemplating on holding it much further, either down to maybe like 880 or 840 flat. So we will see, and I will keep y'all updated on whether or not I close this position or not. Euro CAD, not looking the best. It really started to break a level that I really did not want to see it break. But if we're being honest, it is still technically bearish until it breaks this previous lower high. So if we come up here and then start rejecting or come equal to and start rejecting, this is still an overall bearish movement. But has it surpassed my stop loss? Obviously so. But we'll probably go ahead when the market opens tomorrow, go ahead and close out this position and just look for a re-entry because I really don't want to just continue to hold it all the way up to this level. Just in case it does break, it will just save me the money. So yeah, that's pretty much all on that one. But what made me get into this trade, my fault. I saw here on the weekly that we were in the major level of support and resistance, right? We had a strong level of support here. We had some support here. We had some resistance. Resistance came all the way down. And then we came back into this strong area that has not been broken out of since it tried back in December of 21, right? And I also saw that we kind of made like this double top. If I turn on line chart, we had this double top formation up here. We were having all these wick projections. And then, this one pretty much closed all the way under, gave us a bearish engulfing with a retest. So it seemed like it was going to be a good move. And then when I came down to the daily, I pretty much saw, double top, boom, retest of the neckline, boom, broke. And then when we retested, this previous lower low, I just assumed that we were going to continue down. But we have violated the that we have to potentially retest from is the previous lower high. Now, if we are able to break this level, then I will start looking for buys if it can get me a retest back into the zone, right? That will be my bias on this particular pair. But right now we're not seeing it. So just gonna let it be what it is for now. So we'll come back to that and see how it plays out. Right. All right, the last one on the list is GBP CAD. I actually never got triggered into this trade. If you follow me on my trading page, you would have saw that I set a sell stop at this 68.27 point. And as you can see, we never broke that daily low. I saw that we had this strong bearish engulfing. We were in this downward motion, right? We had this big double top. We broke and we started playing around the neckline and we were actually getting lower with the highs, right? And I just wanted to see it break this other little mini double top neckline and then continue to the downside. So that's why I put my entry beneath this daily bearish engulfing. And as you can see, it just never came back down. And that happens sometime, but I'm not tripping. I literally already closed my sell stop on here. And I'm just waiting to see what GBP CAD wants to do next week. If it gives me another bearish confirmation in this level, because it technically still is it technically is still, bro, what am I trying to say? Respecting. Damn, like I just got a little tongue tied, a little brain fart right there. But it's technically still respecting this level. So it's all in seeing what type of moves it wants to make before really saying which way it wants to go. So I'm kind of indecisive right now because, like I said, it's not really showing me too much. So I'm gonna just leave that there. All right, so now we're gonna look at a few pairs that I'm potentially looking to get in, and then we're gonna take a look at the DXY to kind of see what the US dollar index has going on. All right, so this is one trade that I kind of had a good interest in. Um, I was actually looking forward to break this support level because I seen, we were making these lower highs right across the board. If we go over to the weekly time frame, we will see we were pretty much making these lower highs in this overall downward market, right? So we trading to the downside. I seen this. I'm like, okay, yeah, like we're gonna continue to go down. Strong bearish weekly closure. I just knew for a fact we would break under this low. We have this gap under here, like price has not filled any of this. And so I just knew that it was ready to come down and fill that in and then potentially head back to the upside or continue further down. But we have yet to see this break of this level. So I have been patient and waiting it out. Now, if it does decide to say, boom, it's going to make a double bottom here, right? If we can come back and retest this neckline, I will be looking to buy GBP back to these highs over here, right? I would not hold much further than here. So like I said, if we was to get in, if it came back to this level, we're talking about a good 150 pip move, which is a nice little swing trade for me. But if we do not get that scenario and we break here, I would like to see a retest where it actually holds this level and for the short. All right, so I had uh not the cleanest setup for me, but I did like that we were respecting this level of resistance came back to this level and still was not able to break it. We have not been above this level since May of 2021. So it was given that this was a very, very strong level of resistance that um the bulls have not been able to break. And then when we came, on the 30th, we made this strong bearish engulfing candle and we've been trading underneath this low. And when I go back down to the daily time frame, I see kind of like this, head and shoulders pattern. But in order for me to get into this trade, I need to see it break all of these lows. So from February 6th up until now, if we can, well, really further back than that, if I drag this over, since January 9th, right, we've been kind of, well, shit, even further back in December, right? It's resistance, support, 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 support. So if we can get underneath this level right here, I would definitely be looking to take it short with a retest and confirmation candle, right? DHFJP, wow. Okay, so I see that this market was moving overall to the upside. We kind of pretty much broke out of this right here, this downward motion. We came up, retested, and then we started making higher highs and higher lows, right? If I look at the weekly time frame, you can see right here, we zoom back just a little bit. It was a pretty strong area of support because we had some nice bounces back in June of 2022. And, we came back to that exact level and started making bullish movements off of it. So this was a pretty like simple support setup. So in order for me to get involved with this move, I would want to see a retest back to the previous high because remember, you got your higher highs, higher lows that always pretty much come back to the previous to keep moving to the upside. Now, this doesn't always happen, but when it do, I'm definitely looking to, take that trade. So that's pretty much all I'm looking for there. In GA, I'm sitting under that support level turned into resistance that I talked about on not on my personal channel, on my trading channel, a few weeks ago. And I was just loving that it had this big area down here that needed to be filled in. And we still have not broken back above this resistance. So if next week we could get another bearish confirmation, I will potentially get into this trade. What made me get out of it is I seen another setup, which was the GBP CAD, which I thought was gonna be much cleaner than this one, and honestly, that one didn't play out either so far. So we'll just wait and see what happens. It's all about patience in this game, and I definitely have learned to be patient with everything. So let's take a quick look at the DXY. Yo. All right, so with DXY, I see that we have broken out of this downward movement we had going on. I predicted this drop, I promise, way back from 114.5. I predicted this drop a long time ago. I was actually working with um, somebody at the time helping them how to trade, and I told them like, if we cannot break 114, this market is going down. Like, especially if we break beneath 109, 102 was the next spot, and that's exactly where we came. And now we are starting to bounce back up. Now, I was able to see this because I looked at the higher time frames. I seen that we had major resistance across this 102 level. So I knew if it could not break above the mid level here, this 114.5, that it was going to come back and retest all of these resistance slash support points on this market. And it did exactly that. And we actually got this bullish engulfing at the end of January, and we started to see a bounce. But I didn't necessarily take that as this market was going to go bullish just yet because it was still abiding by downward structure, right? It was still making, because if it didn't break this level, I was expecting it to come down, retest, and then continue on down, right? But we have broken out of this little trend line that I just draw from time to time just some visualization. Like it helps sometimes just to see what price is doing. Um, but I'm really not bullish until we can break above this 106 level. Because remember, even though it broke the previous um lower low, we still have a lower high that it has to get past. And if it can violate this lower high, then essentially it will continue to move back up to this 109 area. So that is all I got for y'all today. I appreciate y'all for tapping in with me. Make sure y'all follow me. Make sure y'all subscribe. Keep doing the work and understand that everything takes time. You are already a winner. You have already won, and everything is already playing out for you. Just keep believing, keep going strong every single day. I'll talk to y'all later. I'm out.